The NFL draft is getting close, and the combine is just a few days away. The combine, for those of you who don't know, is basically the showcase event where players run, they jump, they throw, they catch, they do whatever in front of all the NFL scouts. It's located in Lucas Oil Stadium for the Colts Stadium. Um, Everybody runs through the combine. Everybody does their thing. They get all the numbers, and then for the next 2 months before the draft, we evaluate those numbers. We evaluate their athleticism score, everything like that. And then some players are going to rise, some players are going to fall in the pre-draft rankings. So I kind of want to highlight a few players that you should watch for the combine to see their stock either rise significantly or fall significantly. Unfortunately, my first player is Bryce Young. Not necessarily his throwing, because he said he's going to save his throwing for his throw day. Not necessarily his 40 time, because his 40 time is not, his speed is not really indicative of his position. It's going to be his height. I'm very interested to see what Bryce Young officially weighs in as and height and is measured at for height, because height is a big it's a big thing at quarterback. Teams do value height. As much as teams want to say that they don't, teams value height. Is it an indicator of who's going to be a great quarterback? Not every time, but height does matter to a lot of teams. So Bryce Young's height could prevent him from being the first overall pick, which would be awful. But I guess that's just how it is in the NFL. So my guess is that he is listed at 5'9", probably 190. That's my guess. But we shall see how big Bryce Young is. If I was Bryce Young, I'd walk to the NFL Combine in heels. Just saying, it might make him some more $1 million. Another player and another measurement that I am very interested to see is Jalen Hyatt, the wide receiver from Tennessee. I talked about him in my mock draft just a little bit ago, but I'm very interested to see what his 40 time is. Now, we've seen it time and time again, where receivers who are not valued as first-round picks in the pre-combine draft process run a ridiculous 40 time, and all of a sudden they're a first-round pick, they're a can't miss, they're a top 15, 20 guy. The best example of this is John Ross. John Ross was like a third-round pick before he ran a 4.22 40-yard dash, and then he went number 9 to the Bengals, a pick before Patrick Mahomes. That's not the only example. Henry Ruggs, same thing. Darius Hayward-Bay, same thing. Guys just get drafted way higher than they should because their 40 time is ridiculous. So if any guy is going to do that this year, it's going to be Jalen Hyatt, who's going to run a ridiculous 40 time, and then all of a sudden he's a top 20 pick. Like I said, when I was looking at the mock draft, he's currently ranked as like the number 68 prospect. If he runs a good 40 time, he's getting drafted way higher than 68. Teams love speed for wide receivers. So we shall see what happens with Jalen Hyatt. Hopefully, for his sake, he runs a fast time and climbs up the draft board. Another guy that I think could really increase his draft stock is Georgia tight end Darnell Washington. Right now, just from a quick Google search, he's listed at 6'7", 245. That's a big boy. So my two things with him is to see, is he 6'7", 245? Is that his official measurement? Is he 6'8"? Is he typically when your college measurements, you're not going to go lower. So he might be 6'6", 6'7", 245. My interesting thing to see is, how does he move? How does he glide? How does he jump? How does he run the 40? I want to see this guy's athleticism score, because if this guy is putting up freak athleticism numbers and he's 6'7", 275, oh, buddy, he's going in the first round 100%. Another guy I want to see the measurables for is Penn State cornerback Joey Porter. I want to see how fast he is. I want to see how long his arms are, especially if you're a coach like Pete Carroll. He always goes after long arm corners. That's just his thing. Richard Sherman with long arms. Tariq Woolen's got them long arms. If Joey Porter has long arms and runs fast, he might not be there at 20 for the Seahawks, and that'd be good for him. But unfortunately, that would not be good for the Seattle Seahawks. And the last guy, I think the guy that everybody is excited to watch in this combine is going to be Anthony Richardson, quarterback from Florida, the freak athlete himself. Whereas I said Bryce Young, maybe his height, his weight, his frame might prevent him from being the number 1 overall pick. If Anthony Richardson dazzled at the combine and at his pro day, he runs a good 40. If he shows he's accurate throwing, if he, maybe is an athletic freak, he could jump up to number one overall. And I say this, and some of you are going to think I'm crazy. It's happened. Zach Wilson, it happened, right? Cam Newton, well, Cam Newton's going to be the first overall pick, but it's happened where quarterbacks have gone much higher than they should because of their combine, because of their pro day, everything like that. So Anthony Richardson has the opportunity to make himself a lot of money in this combine. Who are some guys that you are excited to see at the combine? Who are some players that you think could raise or lower their draft stock significantly? Let me know down below. I love reading guys' comments. Let's go ahead and head to the next segment.